Okay, this is
All
It's
right.
Cool. Hi.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Renee.
Hello. How are you doing,
How are
Rory?
ya?
I haven't seen you in so long, at least 30
How are you,
seconds.
Ski?
At least
How are you?
I
Okay,
know. You
that's
get
a
that
new
all the
name.
time. I apologize. I'm a
No,
hack.
I've never had that. That's what's so weird. I've literally never had that. I mean it.
So today I
Weird as
went to
that
the
is.
Eye Institute to check my eye. I'm going to get my left eye replaced. I'm already the $6 million man. I had the right eye replaced a couple of years ago in China, and now the left eye is going to be replaced in mid-October. But
Oh
I had to
boy.
go in today for like the exam thing, and my eyes are still dilated.
Exam thing is
Even
the
now.
medical term
So
for it. Exam
forgive me
thing.
if I'm like really, if my notes come up into the frame. I'm like, okay, how long have you been doing this?
just go back to the
Eyes are
days
still
where you were hitting
dilated.
joints behind the school building. You'll be all right with the Visine and all.
And craziest thing this week, evidently China is having like a stock market kind of crash that's been going on for weeks now.
Oh boy.
That started with their properties, stocks and stuff going down in the dumper. And I'm just hearing about it like 2 days ago. Somebody said something like, what? So I'm now just hearing about this.
God.
And it explains a lot to me as far as, my wife is saying, maybe I'll come and retire with you now because things are not good here, that kind of thing. So anyway, that's just kind of the weird stuff that's happening this week. How about you guys?
It has been sort of a weird week. Just trying to put everything together, trying to get my future hammered out and just working on music and poetry and getting guests booked for not just this show, but for others down the line. And
you don't have to worry about that, Jonathan. I do that.
Well, it always hurts to have a little extra help,
I booked this show and I do all the press for it. So you guys don't have to worry about that. That's
right. That's true. Yeah. He does it for the other one, though. Let's see. One Hit Wonderful, right? You're talking about that show.
One Hit Wonderful.
Yeah. One Hit Wonderful, One Hit Wonderful is this Thursday night. And for the first time ever in doing the show, One Hit Wonderful, I am nervous because the man that I am going to be interviewing is one of my guitar idols and someone that I have listened to for many years and someone who I've actually seen in concert. He is a world-renowned finger picker, and his wit is almost as fast as his fingers. It is none other than Richard Gillowitz, ladies and gentlemen. He has played with Leo Kottke, John Fahey, many others over the world, and I just can't believe he said yes to doing our little show.
Jonathan has been freaking out ever since.
I have. Renee, I apologize if I've been sounding like a perfectionist,
in a good way.
but
I'm happy.
I want this to go without a hitch,
I know. It's going to be beautiful, and I think it's really cool that you get to meet one of your heroes. I think that's
Rory,
so
I'm curious.
It's going to be live.
You're curious.
Rory, did you feel this way when you booked and then subsequently interviewed someone like Billy Vera, who is a big star like that?
Well, yeah, it's always nice when we get A and B list talent on the show, and we get very interesting people on the show. I'm very happy with who I've gotten on the show this year in our first 22 shows.
Oh gosh, it's like some of the best guests.
I've just been very lucky to find a lot of people on Clubhouse, just like this first guest that's coming on.
Yes, exactly.
He is a comedian. I believe she's up in Maryland. I've been saying DC in the advertising. I don't know where I got that from, but I think she's from Maryland, and she does great, awesome impressions. She does Impersonation Nation with me on Clubhouse, and I'm just happy to bring her up here. It's Leslie Rodriguez.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's good to be here.
You were going to send me a list this afternoon. You did not.
Yeah. I guess I'll take my demerits on that one. I'm a little derelict in the list making. The best? I don't know if the best. I have my favorites, but
okay, we'll go with that.
I do Holly Hunter, which is it's a crowd favorite. I do a little Daria, pretty much all the cast. Simpsons. Cool. Let's see, Lisa, Millhouse, some Marge, Patty Selma, the low hanging like Nelson ones. The fact, all the kids can do. I do some Fairly Odd Parents now. Anything that's in that range of like that. Like the little kitty voice, like they love that. Anna Faris, spooky, like just any number of them. Sofia Vergara, feel, Jay, feel, Claire. There's a lot. My impressions involve a lot of yelling a lot of the time.
Well, there you go. Yeah, the Millhouse is the one that I remember very well. I think that was where I first met you, was when we were doing the Simpsons room.
Oh yeah.
With Godfried, and I was doing Grandpa.
Oh yeah.
I like pancakes.
Oh, my flood pants. This is what it feels like when doves cry.
I hate the face that I have to make when I do them, but they sound like them. But yeah, Millhouse is great.
Well, yeah, again, when who's the guy that does Roger Rabbit? He's very intelligent. This is killing me.
One of our friends?
Fleischer. Charles Fleischer. He totally gets into character when he is Roger Rabbit when he's doing oh, I know you're gonna be good on the show tonight.
I'm often like moving around and like pumping my arms up in the air and doing all kinds of things.
Even wears the Roger Rabbit outfit when he does Roger.
To bed the night before.
You don't dress up like Millhouse when you do Millhouse, so. I
dress up like Millhouse every day, Rory.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's just my look.
I stand corrected.
No. Yeah, Simpsons are really fun. I found out, realized Holly can lead me into a lot of other things. Like her voice, it led me into Clarice, which is just angry Holly Hunter.
I've said that. It's very close. They're both very close.
Dr. Lecter, I need you to tell me what's going on here. We don't have much time. We're out of time, Dr. Lecter. And then it's just like angry Holly's like, hey guys, it's me, Holly, just having a good time. I'm in The Incredibles. I just really like it, It's kind of the same thing.
I just watched her in Broadcast News the other night.
Oh, such a great movie.
Yeah. That was a really good movie. I love Albert Brooks in that.
That's an oldie but a goodie. Raised in Arizona is my favorite still.
So, but yeah, she's a very, again, I don't know why they didn't cast her in the second one in Hannibal. It makes sense.
And then, there's the piano, which is hilarious.
But just for the penis shot alone.
Oh, yeah.
Can I show my penis? I got to show my penis.
Traumatized.
Can we just do something so I can show my penis? I wish you wouldn't do that. I would just,
It's like, maybe you could put it away on a scene next time, next shot, when I'm in the dressing room. It's like, Holly.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
Oh, gosh, like my whole life. I've always been funny, and I've always been writing comedy, writing parodies. My sisters and I have two sisters who are younger. We used to write parody songs growing up. We used to act out scenes from Austin Powers. We made my mom be in it. She was the dealer in the card scene.
Yeah, baby.
It's like, I'll hit me, but sir, you have 18. I'm Richie Cunningham. This is my wife. A lot of vagina. That whole shit. My mom was just like shaking her head, but I guess now it makes sense. We're just fun. I'm funny. We're funny. But as far as doing it like for others that aren't my family, probably about 2 years.
Okay.
Now, right before COVID, actually. Unfortunately.
Wow.
That's like, I've heard that so many times though this year. People have said, yeah, I started really getting out there, and I'm 35 now, so I was 33 then. Mm-hmm. Math. And I was kind of in a place where I said, I'm not happy. I want to go do what I love. And this is what I've always been meant to do. And I just finally was like, okay, do it. And then it was like, boom, COVID.
And then everything closed down.
I was like, oh, sorry for your dreams. You waited this long. You can wait longer.
Back from being out of the country for 15 years, I had like one gig lined up, and then COVID hit.
So I've only been up on stage like twice, but my impressions and stuff I do online, and I've done a bunch of Zoom shows, and the community in Clubhouse has just been, it has afforded me so many opportunities I may not have had otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If somebody were to see your comedy, how do you think they would describe it?
My ex-wife's family described me as edgy.
Ah.
So I think that's a fair assessment.
Edgy's good.
We're also not married anymore, so that might be other,
Most of the big guys were edgy.
I'm edgy. Yeah, I'm definitely, I would say, edgy, contemporary,
And gal.
not sensitive, and not for the faint of heart.
One of the things I was going to ask you about, but you've only been in comedy for a very short time, and I've been meaning to ask a lot of female comics that we have on the show. Back in the 80s and the 90s when I was doing comedy, when I was initially doing comedy, it was very rough for ladies in comedy. I mean, there was a kind of a, I don't know, it was just easier for the guys, it seemed.
It's definitely toxic. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll be the first to
you know,
tell you.
it's harder to deal with like the club owners and the bookers and even the other comics in some respects.
I would say
Have you experienced any of that in the short time that you've been doing comedy?
parts of that. The bookers thing, I've heard horror stories that I will like
Yeah.
100% believe to the end of this day, and I'm just like, man, that's so messed up. We have to be better.
I'm hoping conditions will get better for female comics. I really do.
As far as other comics, yeah, like a lot of men love to do the mansplaining to me. They like to just kind of, they think you don't know what you're talking about. It's not about inexperience. It's just about being a woman.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, Rory, I kind of thought that, being a gay woman, I'd be like kind of shielded from the toxic masculinity. And they'd be like, oh, you're just like us. But guess what? That's not true. And they're just as big assholes to me as everybody else.
Mm. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it does get better for you.
It's,
Sometimes it takes time to establish yourself. Yeah. But I mean, even people like, Carol Leifer and Elaine Boozler, who are very big in comedy for a long time, they still are.
Right.
They had problems, with comedians and people who they had to deal with in the business. It's just harder.
It's not that comedy. It's this issue of like wage gaps, and women in general aren't treated equally still. Who's to say like I'm going to be getting a leg up because I'm a comedian? It's going to be even worse.
Okay, so the pandemic has hit.
Mm-hmm.
How have you kind of rolled with that punch? I've actually changed this question. I was going to ask you how the pandemic affected you. Now I know that.
It's going great.
How you rolled with it?
I really rolled into it, and I've just embraced the being home, and the opportunities have been bountiful.
Mm-hmm.
Doing things connecting with people I may not have connected with otherwise. Clubhouse was such a fluke for me.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, a random friend of mine from a previous job, in my other job, they said like, "Hey Leslie, there's this app. It's called Clubhouse." Sent me this Mashable article. I check it out. I'm like, "Oh, whatever." For the first 6 months, I wasn't even in the comedy space.
Oh, it's just audio. Oh.
Wait.
That was my first
people. I don't like this. No, but I stuck with it. And honestly, it had me in the first week. I was just on it constantly.
Same thing. There was the stigmatism of it only being audio at first, but then once I got in, I was like, wow, I like this. I really like this.
It's really its own thing. And the way it's evolved has been so fascinating for me, because it's like, okay, well, I was in this social space. That's like season 1, Leslie. And then it's like, oh, there's business connections. Oh, people like comedy. I do comedy. Oh, this is the comedy space. And then that's like, now we're at season 17. Because time in Clubhouse evolves very quickly.
Okay, so for our viewers who are watching, or will be watching later on YouTube, if you aren't on Clubhouse yet, you have to get an invite from somebody that's already inside Clubhouse, basically. So you got to find somebody who's already in there. Not anymore.
Let me drop this knowledge. Not anymore.
All right.
So, when they
lay it on us.
When the androids came, they were, the droids are coming. When they came to the app, a couple weeks later, they opened it to everybody. So you just got to sign up and download it. So please, people, get on Clubhouse.
Okay. Well, yeah, again, originally it was just Apple phones, the iPhones. And then, again, they let the Androids in. So now you're saying you could just go to the Apple Store or the
Google Play. Yeah.
Google Play and find it and download it. Well, there you go. Much easier.
Yeah. And you know what?
Great. Wonderful. And come to Thursday night, Impersonation Nation.
Me and Rory and Philip.
and Mike Wilson.
And Mike and other Mike and all the mics.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the other things that you're into besides the?
Wow, so many things.
Well,
it's true. Like, yeah. So behind me, this bookshelf. I wasn't sure if I was going to show it or not, but I'm a huge antique collector, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, mostly Masonic things or anything that has like a connection to the past, like my grandparents. I really lean in hard to that. I love to go to antique malls. I'm also really into tattoos. I have 20 some tattoos now. 22, I think. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're just not on my face.
Because when you become a grandmother, you'll have to explain all those if there's some on your face or your neck.
When I become a grandmother.
What's that, Grandma? Well, that's a dagger.
It
going
used
through
to be a
heart
dagger.
with
Now
blood
it's a
coming off.
smudge. Yeah, no, I think the most visible one I have is on my forearm.
Who are some of the favorite people that you've worked with?
Oh man.
And this includes Clubhouse.
Oh, definitely.
And I'm not fishing here for me. Okay.
It's mostly going to include Clubhouse. Honestly, and this might not be popular opinion, but Dane Cook actually is the reason I went to the Comedy Space and Impressions. Is I did an impression at 4 a.m. in one of his rooms, and he was like, "Do your best one." He's like, "Go, go, go!" I'm in succinct, rapid succession. Keep going, and I'm doing 6 of them, and I end on Anna Faris. And he goes, "Oh yeah, that's good. I know her. I worked with Anna. Like, he's Canadian, and that's great." I just love everybody we get to work with on every Comedy Lounge show. And then some of the new faces and folks that I'm meeting, like that, maybe they're up and comers, and maybe they're not like headliners, or maybe they're not known.
I've met a lot of newcomers. Yeah,
they're funny,
and there's a lot of natural talent there. There is. What are some of the other rooms, or what are some of the other shows that you've done in Clubhouse?
So right now, I would say I'm spread the thinnest I've ever been spread. I'm working on a bunch of different shows. One of them being called Coffin Talk. It's a podcast of a 267-year-old count, and he does a late night talk show. So I cast on that, and it's actually all improv. So it's premise based, but the whole thing is improv.
Most of it is improv, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I do Women's Rise and Shine open mics. I have been doing a room called Mr. Tooth, which is an original character I created.
Mr. Tooth.
Yeah, Mr. Tooth is a 67-year-old British tooth. He loves to drink gin, but he's also a butler and a robot. So he's got a lot going on.
Butler robots are popular.
Hey, that's the Tooth, you know. We do a lot of tooth puns. He's got a room. It's called the Laughing Gas Lounge, and he's getting pretty popular. But on top of that, just a ton of other guest spots.
Can you do a few lines for me? Okay, and not cocaine.
Well, not on camera.
Can't do that on air.
He goes, "Oh, Rory, it's so good to see you. Where's my gin fizzy, man?" Like he's a belligerent tooth. He's cracked, you know. He's got some cavities, but he's looking to turn his life around.
Mr. Belligerent, Mr. Tooth.
That's right, and I live in Florida. He lives with you in Florida.
There you go.
Yep. So it's a lot of fun.
And other rooms?
Oh gosh, like you really put me on the spot. I do a room called Twinning, which is like match game.
It's what I do.
Oh yes. Look at quite the interview we have here. I do one called Twinning. It's Kevin Williams has the game. It's basically you go on. It's like match game. You try to match with comedians. We do that every Monday at 9. On top of that, Impersonation Idol, or Impression Idol, Impersonation Nation. Impression Idol starts up again in October. I did make it to the finals, but I didn't win. And that was with
Lois Griffin, you know? Ah, Peter.
How can I forget Lois?
It's good to see you there, huh?
Oh, God, what am I doing on the show with this guy? Oh.
I didn't even make the finals. I sang as Clint Eastwood one night. I sang as Bugs Bunny.
That was in the beginning.
Didn't make the finals, Doc.
Oh, Peter, this bunny is bothering me.
Yeah.
Now, Mikey Valdez actually did Peter Griffin singing and won. I don't know. I think he got to the finals with that.
I think he won the whole thing. Yeah.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised. He's a very talented guy. Very, very talented.
Mike Valdez
great voices and really good at improv. I mean,
he's stellar. And, I copy his hair, obviously. You know, and I try and get the height of Philip, but the swoop of Valdez.
I was kind of saying to myself, we had Mikey on the show a couple of weeks ago. She's got that look.
It's the glasses and the swoop. I mean, this is only as of pandemic, so.
And the glasses too.
And he wears eyeliner too, so there you go.
You know, if you wear a bow tie and suspenders, it's over. You know,
Well,
you become Mikey Valdez, and
He'd probably sue me.
you want to be yourself. You want to be your own thing.
That's very hard for a comedian, as you know, but I'm trying.
It's hard for an impressionist to be themselves. It really is.
You ever slip into them when you're not like trying to, and you're like, I'm trying to be serious. Oh God, I'm doing the Lois again.
I got so many people asking me to do Clint Eastwood. I feel like I should just go to my room and just try to lock the door and stay away from everybody. What the hell happened to my career?
Oh my gosh! I like to do.
And you see me doing the face when I'm doing it.
Yeah, I know it makes me feel better about my faces.
I do the faces when I do them.
Gosh, when I do the Jerry Blank too, you know, Strangers with Candy, and that's by far my favorite impression. The comedy on that show was genius. It was 99 to like 2003, and it's like,
Clearly, I'm Jerry Blank. I wear my Jerry Blank shirt tonight. Oh, there it is. Oh, Orlando.
Altamont Springs.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Altamont Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you hoping for in the near future here? Are you hoping that I mean we all hope the pandemic will be over soon, but I got a bad feeling.
Got a feeling
Stuck here for a while.
real popular again.
So what are you hoping to get into while this thing is still happening?
Well, I'm finishing out this run on Coffin Talk, which is the Count show. And I've just finished up a 3-episode arc on this show called Jury Duty, which is a creator first show. So that's been a lot of fun. I do I'm sorry. I can't my serious
I saw that on your Instagram, and I thought you really had jury duty. I thought you were making a joke. I didn't realize it was a show.
No, it's a show, and I did a VO on it where it was a clout tracker. It's like the room has 5,000 participants, like, you know, just showing at Clubhouse and how people they jump around to their opportunists sometimes. But it was a lot of fun. It's nice social commentary on that. But what I hope to do now is just kind of lean into the impression stuff. I'm going to be popping off a couple new shows myself. One called That Don't Impress Me Much. And that's going to be a big deal, I think.
I like that. I like the sound
of
that.
I'll be reaching out to you in the back channel.
Well, then I will definitely be there.
Yeah.
Anytime you invite me in a room to do an impression, I'll be there. I love it.
Really, I can only say that much about it, but I think you'll be there for it.
Okay. And anything we can look for you in the near future?
Well, I don't have anything booked up right now. I'll be in New York this weekend if anybody wants to get up with me. Going to Ashley and Michelle Fowler and Aunt Pasquetti's show. They have a head-to-head comedy show with a bunch of really cool people, and going to see a bunch of Clubhouse people on there.
Awesome. Very good. And who do you hope to run into in the near future?
Oof. Probably you and Philip. Yeah.
If I ever get up to Maryland.
It's funny you said that. I'm from Maryland originally. I was born in Maryland.
Okay.
I live in Alexandria, or Virginia.
Okay.
Northern Virginia, yeah. So I say DC because it's like nobody knows this area, but they do.
All right. Again, I do not know where I got Washington, D.C. from.
I say that all the time. I say that.
Oh, you say that? Okay. Well, that's where
I perpetrate that lie.
I thought that I had heard you say that somewhere. That's why that's why I put that there.
Because I'm not like Alexandria, Virginia, and like people are like, what the heck is that?
and today I realized maybe I'm wrong here, and I'm like, well, she hasn't sent me any messages saying, oh, by the way,
stop saying that. No,
I'm not in DC. Okay, what the hell? What the hell are you doing?
God, people are gonna hate me. It's political. No. Although people ask me all the time, like, what was the insurrection like? I was like, it was terrible. Just like you saw on TV, it was terrible.
Well, despite the inhabitants, I love DC.
I love DC too. Yeah, I mean, I don't live there, so I'm not talking about.
It's a great place. My publisher just moved there.
I love living here.
Yeah. All right. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the show if you like.
Okay.
And again, if you have a question for our next guest, who is Cherish Alexander, very lovely songwriter, singer, again, just chime in and we'll get your question to her. Okay.
Great. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. Thanks so much, Leslie and Renee. I'll pull you back in.
Yes. Does Leslie want to stay on screen, or does Leslie want to go into the green room?
But I'll go to the green room. Yeah.
Okay, you'll go to the green room? Okay. All right. Yes.
So now we're going to bring up a very special person. This is a very special person to me. I'll tell you why a little later, or she might tell you why. I don't know. She is a singer. She's a songwriter. She's living the dream out in LA. She is one of the success stories. Her name is Cherish Alexander. Let's bring her on up here.
Come on. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
There
Hi.
she is.
Do you see me okay? Trying to get this.
Yeah.
Is that good?
You
Okay.
sound great and you look great.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you for having me part of your podcast. I really appreciate it.
We feel honored to have you on the show, but do you want to tell them why you agreed to be on the show, or do you want me to tell them?
Wait, do I want to tell them what?
Why you agreed to be on my show, or do you want me to tell
I'll let you tell them.
Okay. Not only is she a very established singer-songwriter, but she happens to be my cousin-in-law. She's married to my cousin Cliff, who is actually another famed story in LA. He is a very established artist there. But this is Cherish's show. I'm hoping to get him on the show later, but this is Cherish's show. So thank you for agreeing to come on the show. We appreciate
Thank you
it.
for inviting me.
And I'm looking forward to you playing some music for us.
Okay. Just let me know when. I have a few songs prepared.
Go
for
ahead
you.
and start playing for us now, and we'll get our questions ready.
Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Let me get my pick. Hold on one second. I lost my pick. Grab my Beatles pick.
Nice. You got a lot of Beatles memorabilia over there.
I do. I'm a huge
Both you guys
Beatles
love
fan.
the Beatles.
I grew up on the Beatles.
Same here.
So I'm going to sing a song. It was my single off of my last album. Meet Me Where You Are. This is Just Be. If it comes, just let it come. If it goes, just let it go. If it fades, just let it fade. If it stays, just let it stay. If you're a dreamer, then just dream. If you're a screamer, then just scream. If you're a doer, then just do. If you're a loser, then just lose. Just be. Just be. Just be. Just be. Just like the birds in flight, the stars up in the sky. Just like the sun and moon. Just like the flowers bloom. You're a runner, just run. If you're a lover, then just love. If you're a liar, then just lie. If you're a crier, then just cry. Just be. Just be. Just be. Just be. Just be, oh Lord, help me. Just be, oh Lord, help me. Just be, just be. 'Cause I am not you. You're not me. I'm not you're not there. be, just be, just be, oh Lord, help me, just be, oh Lord, help me, just be, just be, just be, oh Lord, help me, just be, oh Lord, help me, just be, just be, just be.
Lovely. You have a cross on your guitar there. Very nice one, by the way. One of
thank you.
our viewers noticed it. And are you very religious?
I mean, the truth is, I did grow up in a Christian school. I went to Christian school from like 4th grade to 12th grade. But I would say I'm more spiritual than
Okay.
religious.
Okay. Now you actually started playing very young.
Yes.
You started playing piano when you were 7,
Yes.
and you started playing bass when you were about 12 or 13, right?
Yes. And so my first piano player, his name was Mr. Gaudio. And he was also my vocal coach. And when I first started taking singing lessons with him, he wouldn't let me sing for the first 6 months. I had to do breathing exercises every night. And so my mom would stack a big pile of books on my diaphragm. And I had to go for 6 months. He was like, no, you can't sing, because I guess, he was an opera coach. So like
Okay.
all of the singing is from like your, diaphragm. So, and also piano, yeah. And I actually wrote my first song at age 9 with my brother.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He
So
was a
was
songwriter.
this a decision that you made, or was this kind of made for you? Because a lot of parents sometimes put their kids into that situation, and a lot of kids go, yeah, they love it, and some don't. But was
Yeah.
this a decision you made, or was it somebody else made that for you?
I mean, I think actually my mom saw the strengths that I had, and
Yeah. She
looking
sends some
back,
musical talent.
as a 10-year-old, you don't want to practice every day, I was doing vocal lessons and piano lessons and this lesson and that lesson. But looking back, I'm just so grateful that she did that, because
Yeah.
now I have the tools to express myself through songwriting and stuff like that. So,
Awesome. Would you like to sing another song for us?
sure.
Thank you.
I'm actually going to play Aunt Joan's favorite song.
Oh, okay.
I guess it would be my mother-in-law's favorite song.
That's Clifford's
Would be
mom.
your
Yeah.
aunt? Would Joan be
She's
your
my
aunt?
aunt. She's one of my
Yeah,
favorite
she's your
aunts.
aunt.
Yeah. She's a sweet woman, wonderful woman.
Yes. So this also is off my last album. This is called Art of Happiness. Holding on to you tighter than I should. Many days I've worried you away. And even though you're here, don't know how to let you go. All the weeks I've imagined you gone. And when you can't see the way out, why don't you jump anyway? Drowning in a sea of your clouds, only what remains see my piano is change. Is change. Drown without a map, with you by my side, a true companion. Why don't you walk anyway? Broken in the way of looking glass. Only what remains is change. The art of happiness. The art of happiness. The art of happiness.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Cherish, can you tell us about how your career got going with RCA and BMG?
So I signed with RCA Records when I was 18 years old. I had met a producer who signed me and proceeded to get me a record deal. I did a few demos. I started, I was writing songs, and I ended up getting signed with RCA Records to do a dance album at 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
And so I did a whole dance album, and they were just about to release it, and I was doing promo, and I was in New York and Nashville and taking interview classes and this whole thing. And right before they were about to release it, the president of RCA Records got fired, and they hired a guy named Joe Galante from Nashville, Tennessee. And so he came in and literally dropped everyone from the label. He was just cleaning house.
Oh, man.
And but kept me because I had written a few songs that he really liked. So I proceeded to do a second album with all of my own music at 18. And by the time they wanted to release it, that was kind of going into the grunge era, Nirvana and Soundgarden, all Seattle scene was coming out, and I had already, been signed with them for so long that the kind of album I wanted to make, they didn't see recouping the amount of money they had spent, so we parted ways. But I was also signed to Warner Chappell Music Publishing, and I just worked with so many incredible songwriters, and really
you've worked with a lot of powerhouses in the business.
I know I've gotten really lucky, and so it's just been a beautiful path for me to express my own music. So
you played with Cyndi Lauper.
Yes, I played guitar with her in two of her music videos.
Yeah. And name some of the others. Right now, you're working with Josie Cotton, right?
I'm playing bass with Josie, yes.
Yeah.
And we just played the Greek Theater, which was an amazing, fun show. Last weekend. We've played with a lot of. She has had hits in the '80s, so we do these '80s events. But we played with Violent Femmes, Flock of Seagulls, Missing Persons. Yeah, it's been fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of your accomplishments during the pandemic. I mean, I know that this has affected us all, and we've had to kind of roll with it. As I was talking with Leslie earlier, tried to kind of roll with this punch. Did it really slow you down that much, or have you been busy working?
I mean,
you're a
obviously.
songwriter.
Yes, exactly. So, obviously my heart goes out to everyone that had, had suffering and had a hard time and lost loved ones and all of that. But for me, I just, I have my studio, and it's a way for me to express myself. And
you have a studio in your home.
Yes. This is my studio, actually. And
That's good.
yes. So I just turned inward, really, and just, tried to figure out what it all meant. I mean, it's crazy times, and trying to see the positive in it.
I
And
guess the reason I ask this question so many times on this show is because I love to hear other stories of people not letting it knock them down and just stop everything. I like to hear people saying, look, I know it's a horrible thing that's going on out there, and I hate to hear about people dying, but I'm doing something. I'm not letting it stop me.
yeah,
That's encouraging. I like to hear those kind of stories.
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm sort of a born optimist. I just always have been
Lemons
able
to
to see the
lemonade.
silver lining, and I always look for the silver lining, even in the worst of circumstances. And I do feel like, in a crazy way, we're in the middle of a miracle, and something good is going to come out of it. I really do believe that. And the recluse in me was in complete heaven because just kind of got to like tuck in my home and be creative and
Well, I know
create stuff.
that's true of my cousin. I wasn't sure that was true of you as well. I thought the yin and the yang thing,
Maybe it's an artist thing. I don't know, but
but I know he definitely likes to stay at home and do his own thing.
yes. So we both were super, super creative during this whole time, and even more. And that's why, like, coming out of it, we have so much to share. Because it's just like, so we created so much. We're just like, wah,
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you have a new CD coming out.
Well, I have a new single that I just released. I do have a new album that's in the works right now, but
Okay.
I just released a single and a video that I directed.
Okay.
And conceptualized, and I spent like a year working on it. So it's been a huge birthing process, just getting it out to.
I read about how it didn't come quickly. You thought it was going to come quickly, but
the song. So I actually wrote.
You had to go back to
it
it later and redo it.
Well, I actually wrote the song in 15 minutes, and it was
Right.
during the times of George Floyd and all the horrible stuff happening, and the fires and the climate. I was just trying to understand it in my own way, and I went to record it, and it just wasn't
what
working
you were
out.
hoping for.
I re-recorded a different tempo, different instrument, didn't work out, and so I just left it for like 6 months, and then just something kept saying to me, "You gotta record this song." So I came back in my studio, and I just did it like that. And
sometimes you got to step away from a project for a while to get
It's
to refocus, to get
It's
to get your
true.
refocus. I'm the same way with writing. Sometimes I will have to step away from something that I've been writing for months,
Yeah.
maybe even a year, before I go back to it and go, okay, now I see what my problem was. Let me try this, and then you can continue.
Yeah, exactly. And you want it to be inspired too, right? You just don't want to put stuff out there you want it to come from an inspired
Sometimes when you're doing something over and over and over again, you get foggy in the head, and you got
right. And then
to
you
step
think,
away
well,
from
maybe
it
it's
for a
not meant
while.
to. Exactly. And you're like, well, maybe it's not meant to be, or maybe it's the right direction, or maybe I need to focus somewhere else. And then you just believe if it's meant to happen, it'll come back, to you, and then you recreate it. And so, yeah.
Yeah. So that song's title is
Change Can Start With Me.
okay. And is it possible that you can sing that for us tonight?
Yes, I can. I actually wrote it on piano, so.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Streets filled with hope, a peaceful fight against the rage. Many who have lost their way, giving rise to so much hate. belong. Ask myself, where do we go from here? Where's the mercy and the grace? Who could hide from what we have to face? World that's divided, our hearts can unite us, believing that a change can start with me. Cuts through all the years, every scar eventually shows. Dive deep into your fears. The time's come for us to grow. Just as a ripple makes a wave, just a smile can help to ease the pain. And every action that we take makes a difference in this human race. A world that's divided, our hearts can unite us, believing that a change can start with me. Not one more screaming silence, no observing the violence, believing that a change can start with you. And me. Just as a ripple makes a wave, just a smile can help to ease the pain. And every action that we take makes a difference in this human race. A world that's divided, our hearts can unite us, believing that a change can start with me. Not one more screaming silence, no observing the violence, believing that a change can start with you. Believing that a change can start with you. And me.
Show you've got a voice of an angel. So,
Thank you.
where can people find your CDs?
So CherishAlexander.com is my whole catalog's there. All the links, all the YouTube, all the videos, all the stuff. It's all there.
That's the best
So-
place to order them. That way you don't have to give a
Yes.
cut to Amazon or somebody else.
I mean, there's links to Amazon from my website and
Yeah.
Apple Music and iTunes and, yada, yada, yada. So,
Very good.
all the
You guys
stuff,
got your
all the
Christmas
things.
lights up already?
What's that?
I'm
What'd you
teasing.
say?
Yeah, so you guys got your Christmas lights up already?
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
I'm
year
teasing.
round.
I'm teasing. They
No,
like
I
Christmas
know
lights.
it's crazy. I just love Christmas lights. My whole life. Yeah.
And you like coffee mugs too.
Oh, coffee mugs and Christmas lights. Yes. And poodles
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
I
golden
forgot the girls.
retrievers.
Yeah. Who has been the most supportive for you in your career?
Oh my gosh, sounds so cliche, but my mom,
Yeah.
my mom has just been my like number one cheerleader. She's just always believed in me, and
Hmm.
you know, she's my mom. She's the best.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
It's good to
So
have your parents' support.
yeah, well, yes.
It took me a long time to get my parents to support my acting, which led to comedy later.
Well,
Uh,
this is a great role for you. I really actually like you in this role.
ah,
I do. I think you're a great interviewer. You're doing awesome.
well, thank you. Thank
You're
you so
doing such a
much.
good job.
We're getting a
Yes.
lot of good feedback for the show. That's for sure.
That's so
And
great.
we're getting better and better guests on because the word is getting out.
Oh, that's good. That's amazing. I'm happy for you guys.
You have some songs coming up in TVs and movies, right?
Yeah, so I have the first song I sang, Just Be, is going to be in a movie called Oro Arrowhead.
Okay.
That's I think going to be on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And I have a song called God Everywhere off my last album. It
Okay.
sounds very religious, but it's really more spiritual. It's about, just seeing God in everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, just creation.
I
And
almost did Clint Eastwood again.
and that's actually going to be the theme song on a show on Catholic TV network. So that's kind of a big thing. And I just had a song in a homeless documentary about the homeless in Los Angeles.
Is this something you're hoping to branch out more into?
I think for me, really the next stage for me is songwriting. I mean, that's my passion is songwriting.
I mean, Danny Elfman started out with Oingo Boingo, and now he's one of the biggest composers in Hollywood.
Yes.
Since Pee Wee's Big Adventure, he just shot off as a composer. He found out that, hey, I'm better at this, actually.
I think that definitely, I think if I were to say my intentions, it's to touch people through music,
Mhm.
write music that makes a difference, and also to be more involved in songwriting for maybe other artists, for TV shows, film. That's my passion. I've been in front of the scenes a long time as an artist, and I will always consider myself an artist, but I
Yeah.
think for me, I do want to do more of like the writing,
Okay.
That's my goal. That's my next path. I'm going like this.
And that's my next question, because we have a lot of people who are in music, especially in Atlanta and in
Oh,
the
wow.
South here, that watch the show. And I
that's
know they're going to
amazing.
want me to ask you, what is your process for songwriting? This is a question that I have to ask all the songwriters that come on the show.
So songwriting for me is like a very visceral process. It's just something that I've mastered. I don't know if it was something I kind of was born with. I've never taken a songwriting class or anything like that. I have worked with a lot of masters, and so I was very lucky to learn that art through them. But for me, it's really just kind of grabbing my guitar, sitting at the piano, and just kind of letting the force flow through me. I mean, sometimes I'll have a lyric idea and I'll take that. Sometimes I'll just be like, na 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 na, just kind of singing something. Then I'll go back and listen to it. I'm like, oh, that's like a line right there. You just kind of sing something, organically. But yeah, so that's, I don't know if that makes sense to people. The visceral process is just kind of tuning in, and
It sounds like it makes sense to me, and I'm
yeah,
not
okay,
really
good.
a songwriter all that much.
Yeah,
I've written a
I
couple of
know.
song
It's
parodies.
so hard to explain the process because it really is such a sacred process.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's also not something I can force.
Mm-hmm.
If I force it, it just never is right. But when I feel the inspiration of it and I sit down, I just write it in like 15 minutes. It's just like that. Like the song I just sang, I wrote very quickly. So,
All right.
I don't know.
Awesome. Are there any? Did you say you have a gig coming up soon that people out in LA can catch you at?
I I was supposed to be going on tour with Josie Cotton
Okay.
at the East Coast, and I unfortunately had to bow out because my doggy is not doing so well.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Hope
But
she's-
I think I am going to be doing like a Facebook Live concert,
Mhm.
Instagram Live thing in the next few weeks.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be promoting that. So maybe you could pass it around if anyone's interested and wants to log in. And
Go and follow Cherish Alexander on Instagram and Facebook, and as well as Leslie Rodriguez. I don't think Leslie has a. Let's bring Leslie back up here. I'm going to do something I haven't done before and bring both the guests back up together to talk.
hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Leslie, you're on Instagram, but I don't think you have. Do you have a Facebook?
No, I have a
No.
Insta. I really just Insta and Clubhouse, and I'm pretty much live on Clubhouse, so you can find me
Yeah,
there.
that's a lot
Clubhouse.
of
I've
people
never
that
even
do.
heard of that before.
Yeah, you should get in there.
Yeah, it's really
You'll meet a
fun.
lot of
Is
people. You meet a lot of people.
I just signed up for TikTok, and I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm like,
Oy.
what?
Yeah,
That's a whole
I
different can of
TikTok,
worms.
but I should.
I'm starting to hate TikTok now because people are creating these videos where you watch the videos for like 3 and 4 minutes to see what's going to happen at the end. And then it's like they give you something lousy at the end. It's like, oh my God, that's 5 minutes I'll never get back.
Quitting TikTok. That's where you're like, I'm quitting it.
I actually just created my own TikTok, and I put my chorus on there, and my friend who's really well versed with it, he's like, have people duet with your song, and
Yeah.
so I put
There's
a
a
few
lot of
takes up
viewership.
on there.
There's a lot of viewership.
Cool thing where people will like do different parts of songs, and they're like in
Yeah.
completely different locations. They've never met, they've never coordinated, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, so I literally I put from my video, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was like a million different takes, and so I just put them up all, and I was like, duet this, duet that, just trying to get the message out there, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
but TikTok is crazy.
It is. It
It'll
is.
suck you in.
You got to deal with the cray to get to the viewership. Yeah,
Yeah.
no doubt. So is
So
there
Leslie,
anything else
where
that you guys want to plug before we go on? We've got about a minute and a half.
Okay,
Um,
Leslie, where are you at?
Well, I'm we say DC, but I'm in Alexandria, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. How nice. Awesome.
Yeah, Northern Virginia. Cool. Yeah. But do I have anything I want to plug? Nothing I haven't already talked about. But yeah, just
Okay.
I have a ton of shows on Clubhouse that I'm a part of, or I'm writing for, or acting on. Yeah, just really thrilled to be here. And Cherish, I loved your stuff. It was really
Thank you
great.
so much.
She made
That's
a
so
lot of
nice.
comments. You can go back and read those later. She made a lot of comments in the
really
viewership.
crazy.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Okay, and tell Cliff I want him on the show in November. We're booked
Good
up
luck
through
with that.
October. We're
Good
booked
luck
up
with
through
that.
October. I know. It's like, can you take that picture off of Facebook? I don't like it. Damn it. He's very shy. I mean, when you get to know him, he's very outgoing, and he's
got some big things coming out.
he's got a great sense of humor, but he just doesn't like the paparazzi. He doesn't like he doesn't like, I guess a lot of artists are like that. They just don't like the parties and all the people, and
Yeah, I know.
they're kind of their own people, and they just want to have their own little small circle of people to be with. And I get it. I get it.
I'm happy with just me, myself, and I. Actually,
You said you were good during the pandemic. I used to be out every night doing things with people every single night, and it's like I've really changed a lot. And I kind of leaned into being alone and just being at home and doing a bunch of creative stuff. And I've never been more creative than I am right now.
I love that. See, there's always like a positive, right?
Yeah, and
I love that.
I love being at home and not having to do anything either. I do. I love being on the computer. I love watching movies on TV. And, and everybody's like, really? You've been cooped up for a year and you're not crazy?
Like, I'm
no,
crazy.
I like it.
I've always been crazy. Like,
so
that's what I tell
just
everybody.
staying safe. But now I'm working full time again. So
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And tell Tina hello.
I will.
Tell Tina I said
I will
hello.
definitely do that.
Okay.
I will say that, and you said it on the air, so she's going to love that. So thank you, girls, for coming on again. Renee, can we get you back up here? Jonathan, we'll say goodnight.
Yes,
Thank you.
wonderful show.
Tremendous.
Yay!
Wow.
Is there anything
I'm
you two would like to
fans of
ask
both
before
of
we
you.
go?
Renee, go ahead.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry. I was still
I
like
said-
squealing like a fangirl about these. I was
Is
just
there
saying
anything you would like to ask before we go?
Yeah. Well, I think Rory, you really asked all the questions that we want to know, especially about how to stay in touch. It seems like all the fans really want to stay in touch with these two. So,
Good.
So that's the most important thing. So we can all go out and buy your records, Cherish, and then Leslie to follow you, especially on Clubhouse, and just see what's going on. And also Cherish you on TikTok. I'll see if I can do some duets with you. We'll see.
In the middle of the cray cray.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, everybody. Have a great evening. This was a wonderful show. Thank you again, girls, for coming on. And everybody have a wonderful night.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.